Hello and welcome to Spanish with Catalina. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to do chapters 2 and 3, so stay tuned. All right, so chapter 2, Salutations and Responses. Let's begin with salutations. Hola, hello. ¿Qué tal? How are you? ¿Cómo está? How are you? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Adios, goodbye. Adios can also be used as you're passing somebody in the street. Here we would say hello. There they say goodbye. Hasta luego. See you later. Hasta pronto. See you soon. Nos vemos. See you. Mucho gusto. Nice to meet you. Now, ¿qué tal is more of a slang in saying how are you? ¿Cómo está is formal. So if you're going to ask somebody who's older than you how they are, you say ¿Cómo está? And if you're unsure that if they're older than you or not, then you just play it safe and say ¿Cómo está? Also, it's third person, so it's how is he or how is she? All right, let's go on to the responses. So somebody asks you how you are, ¿Cómo estás? You could say bien, good, or well, cansado, or for a lady, cansada, which means tired, contento, or for a lady, contenta, which means content or happy, triste means sad. That one is the same for both, feminine and masculine. Enojado, or enojada. So enojado is for a male, enojada is for a female. Frustrado or frustrada. So now I think you get the gist of it. O is for the masculine, A is for the feminine. Aburrido o aburrida. Curioso o curiosa. Now aburrido is bored. Curioso is curious. And confundido is, you guessed it, confused. A lot of times you can tell what's being said by the word. And as you learn more Spanish, you'll see that there are quite a few similarities in the words in English and Spanish. So one thing I'd like to just comment here is don't feel the need to learn Spanish quickly. Enjoy yourself. Take it one day at a time and practice some more. That's how you're going to get better. The next thing we're going to learn is some basic vocabulary and then feminine and masculine words. So normally, a feminine word will end in A, like you saw in the previous responses. And a lot of times we use the word la if it has to do with the table or the lamp. We will use la in the feminine. And a masculine word, as you noticed before, will end in an O. And it normally will be accompanied with the word el, which is the. La and el are the. And so if it's a word that ends in an O, it will normally be accompanied by el. All right, so now just like in any language, there are exceptions to the rules. So there's not tons of exceptions to rules in Spanish, but they do exist. All right. So now we're going to go on to what in English we call the 5 W's, and make sure you're following along on the video in order to learn the English words. All right. So the first word, as you see in your e-booklet, is quién. Now quién means who. Number 2 is qué. Qué means what. 3, dónde, where. 4 is cuándo, when. 5 is cómo, how. 6 is cuál, which is an extra one from the 5. And 7 is por qué, why. So some of these words can be interchanged with each other, and like in English, sometimes we just have to know the context of what's being said to understand what word to use or what word is being used. Now we're going to go on to a few prepositions. Now, bear with me here. I know the first little while this might seem boring, but these are all very important so that we can start forming sentences, and it'll give you, I believe, more confidence to speak and create new sentences on your own in the future. All right, so number 1 is de, which is of or from. Number 2, a, which means to, like to go somewhere. El is the in masculine. La is the in feminine. Los, them or they. Las, them or they. Now again, masculine and feminine. Y is and. Arriba is up. Abajo is down. Yeah, so very simple, very straightforward. Remember, feel free to rewind, and practice all you can so that when we come, for those of you who are taking my online courses, when you come, you can have your questions, you've got practice, so we can practice our speaking as well. So that's great. So for those of you who are following along in the e-booklet, we are now on page 11. And before I give you sentences, I want to give you some vocabulary. And then I will incorporate those into sentences and give you an opportunity to write sentences as well. All right, so nouns to identify items in rooms, houses, or building. La casa, the house. El edificio, the building. El cuarto, the room. La recámara, the bedroom. La sala, the living room. La cocina, the kitchen. El baño, the washroom. La ventana, the window. La puerta, the door. El piso, the floor. El sótano, the basement. La pared, the wall. Las escaleras, the stairs. El escalón, the step. La mesa, the table. La silla, the chair. El asiento, the armchair. El mueble, the furniture. La sofá, the couch or the sofa. El gabinete, the cabinet. La lámpara, the lamp. La cortina, the curtain. La cama, the bed. El cuadro, the frame. And the last one, number 26, el estante, the bookshelf. Now that's quite a few. I gave you 26 nouns there. It's quite a bit for one take, but that's okay. It'll give you lots of practicing, lots of things to do during the week. And now we are going to go on to chapter 3, because each video we're going to have 2 chapters in each of them. So stay tuned for chapter 3. Chapter 3, verbs and verb conjugations. I love this. This is so much fun. This is when I was learning Spanish, I would sit in my room for hours just conjugating and learning the verb conjugation. It's so fun. So anyhow, stay with me. So verbs are the words that change the most in Spanish. And in English, they change, but not quite as often. So you'll see that as you're going to write the English in beside the Spanish words in a little table that I've given you. But don't worry, it won't take long and you're going to understand it. You're going to be conjugating verbs all by yourself. For now, we're just learning the present, and then later on we will learn all the other different tenses, all right? Now, the 2 verbs that are very important for us to know is estar and ser. They both mean to be. But estar is the kind of to be like I am cooking. Because am, you know, comes from to be. So, yo estoy cocinando. I am cooking. Now, ser is basically who I am. Soy una mamá. I am a mom. Mi esposo es un carpintero. My husband is a carpenter. Mi hija es una maestra. My daughter is a teacher. So the list can go on. That is basically what you are and normally can't be changed. Okay? So let's go on to the next one. The next one is ver, to see. Hablar, to speak. Practicar, to talk. Escuchar, to hear. Comer, to eat. Comer, just in case my hand got in the way so you couldn't see how it's pronounced. Sentar, that's another thing. Sorry, sentar is to sit. Another thing is this. Look at my mouth. See how my mouth is formed when I pronounce the words, because that will also help you. When I was learning to speak Spanish, I learned to watch people's mouths all the time so that I can try to form my mouth and move my mouth the same way as what the other person was doing. And now it's just become habit to actually lip read and to look at somebody's mouth when they're speaking. The next one is parar, to stand. Sentir, to feel. Dormir, to sleep. And despertar, to wake. Okay, so the next part that we have are the charts that I was telling you about. So right here, I will show you what these charts look like. I'm only going to show you once because you have it in the e-booklet as well. So as you can see, there's the Spanish side and the English side. And there's also the first, second, and third person in the chart. All right, so just follow along there in your e-booklet. If you don't have an e-booklet, I'll try to leave this up long enough, or you can put it on pause to see how to draw yourself a chart, or they would call it a tree, a verb tree. And yeah, so just follow along, and here we go. Estar is the Spanish side. You're going to write to be on the English side. And then it says yo estoy, which is I am. Tú estás, which is you are. Él está, he is. Ella está, she is. Ellos están, they are. Nosotros estamos, we are. Okay, I'm trying not to go too fast, but like I said, you can put it on pause and you can repeat it if you need to, or just put it on pause and then continue on. Now we're going to go on to ser. Again, it is to be. So, yo soy, I am. Tú eres, you are. Él es, he is. Ella es, she is. Nosotros somos, we are. Ellos son, they are. Now I think in your tree I've got ellos and nosotros the opposite, but you can still hopefully figure that out there. The next one is ver. Remember that the V in Spanish is pronounced like the B. Okay, so ver, to see. Yo veo, I see. Tú ves, you see. Él ve, he sees. Ella ve, she sees. Ellos ven, they see. Nosotros vemos, we see. You see, as you go on, you're going to notice the patterns from each person, first, second, and third. So keep an eye out and we can discuss that the next time we see each other online. So the next one is hablar, to speak. Yo hablo. Now in this one, I did not write in the first, second, third person. So you go ahead and do that in Spanish and in English. What I'm trying to do is start to get you to thinking in Spanish and not just me giving you everything there. So the first one is yo hablo, I speak. Tú hablas, you speak. Él habla, he speaks. Ella habla, she speaks. Ellos hablan, they speak. Nosotros hablamos, we speak. Great, you're doing awesome. Now, make sure if you have questions, write them down so that when we meet online, we can discuss it. Or you can write comments down in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can also email to the email that's in this description if you have questions as well, or anything else that you'd like to learn. Because those learning online will have the opportunity for me to teach them things that they are interested in. So keep that in mind. All right, practicar, to talk. Yo practico, I talk. Tú practicas, you talk. Él practica, he talks. Ella practica, she talks. Ellos practican, they talk. Nosotros practicamos, we talk. All right, now I'm doing a little bit more. I'm leaving some blank spaces in the Spanish ones. Try to figure it out on your own. Put the video on pause. Take a look at escuchar, which means to listen, and see if you can figure it out on your own to fill in the blanks. Look up at the other charts to see if you can figure it out. And that would be so fun if you could. And great. All right. But now I'm going to go on. Yo escucho, I listen. Tú escuchas, you listen. Él escucha, he listens. Ella escucha, she listens. Ellos escuchan, they listen. Y nosotros escuchamos, we listen. The next one, comer, to eat. Yo como, tú comes, él come, ella come, ellos comen, nosotros comemos. Very good. You guys are doing awesome. I can't wait to see you online at our next class. Sentar, to sit. Yo siento, tú sientas, él sienta, ella sienta, ellos sientan, nosotros sentamos. Parar, to stand. Yo paro, I stand. Tú paras, you stand. Él para, he stands. Ella para, she stands. Ellos paran, they stand. Nosotros paramos, we stand. Sentir is the next one, and you'll notice with sentir and sentar, the first person is the same. So don't be alarmed with that, and then after they're going to be different. All right? So sentir, to feel. Yo siento, I feel. Tú sientes, you feel. Él siente, he feels. Ella siente, she feels. Ellos sientan, they feel. Nosotros sentimos, we feel. Dormir, to sleep. Yo duermo, I sleep. Tú duermas, you sleep. Él duerme, he sleeps. Ella duerme, she sleeps. Ellos duerman, they sleep. Nosotros dormimos, we sleep. Very good. Now remember, feel free to put these on pause and see if you're able to figure these out. Make sure you're doing this in pencil so that you can erase in case you make a mistake. Despertar, to wake. Yo despierto, I wake. Tú despiertas, you wake. Él despierta, he wakes. Ella despierta, she wakes. Ellos despiertan, they wake. Nosotros despertamos, we wake. Awesome. You guys are just doing wonderful. Now, I'm going to cut that short today. That is all we're going to do because we're going to go through 2 chapters. Now, what I would like you to do with all this information that you have used is practice the words, what they mean. If you feel like playing around and seeing if you can make sentences before I teach you to do sentences, go ahead. That's how we learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are actually a wonderful thing, believe it or not. That is how we learn to get better, and that's what makes us remember. So, until the next video, we'll see you later.